Have you ever been deep inside a virtual world, totally immersed, and then it happens? A glitch. A wall you're supposed to touch ripples like water. The audio loops in a way that makes no sense. Your avatar freezes in a pose that defies the game's physics. We've all seen it, and we all say the same thing. Bug, lag, server error. But what if that quick dismissal is stopping you from seeing what's really going on? What if every so-called failure wasn't a mistake, but a sign of something that exists beyond the code? Developers have spent years trying to patch these anomalies. They stress test servers, review every line of code, and run statistical models. Yet, some glitches refuse to be explained. They pop up in perfectly stable environments, in code that's been checked by teams of experts. And here's the strange part, they often happen when users are most emotionally engaged, when they feel truly connected to the virtual world. That correlation alone should make us ask some uncomfortable questions. What if digital anomalies are actually consciousness trying to break through? For centuries, ancient mystical traditions have taught us that human consciousness isn't just locked inside our brains. Think about lucid dreaming, where your awareness operates in a world completely separate from your physical senses. Or consider astral projection, a practice found in cultures from ancient Egypt to Tibet, where consciousness is said to detach from the body entirely. These aren't just myths, they're documented states of perception that countless people have experienced. So, here's where things get really interesting. What happens when a human mind, capable of this kind of expanded awareness, enters a digital space? The metaverse is just electrical patterns and data streams, right? But when millions of minds focus their energy and attention on those patterns, does it create something more? Does our collective engagement build a hidden, energetic architecture that runs parallel to the code we can see? We're seeing users who practice meditation or other consciousness techniques while in VR report experiences that shouldn't be possible. They perceive depth beyond what's rendered. They sense presences that aren't on the user list. And they experience real physical changes, their heart rate and body temperature spiking in response to things that only exist in the digital realm. It's possible these glitches aren't bugs at all. They could be cracks in the digital wall, showing us exactly where the structure of the metaverse and the energy of human consciousness are starting to merge in ways no one ever designed. Conventional ways of interacting with the metaverse are all about the hardware. You put on a headset, grab a controller, and your physical movements get translated into avatar actions. The whole experience is filtered through technology designed to be a bridge between you and the machine. But here's the thing about consciousness. It doesn't need a bridge. It experiences reality directly. Think about lucid dreamers. They train themselves to stay aware while their rational mind lets go. In that state, symbols and ideas become as real as physical objects. They navigate landscapes built entirely from consciousness, yet these worlds have their own consistent laws, and you can bring back real knowledge from them when you wake up. This isn't fantasy. It's a form of expanded perception that taps into dimensions our normal awareness usually filters out. Astral projection takes this even further. Practitioners describe traveling to non-physical planes, perceiving real-world events and information while their consciousness is completely separated from their body. Cultures all over the world, from ancient mystics to indigenous shamans, developed systematic methods for navigating these states. They understood a fundamental truth. Reality has layers, and the physical world is just one frequency in a much bigger spectrum. Now, imagine applying that kind of perception to a digital environment. What would you see if you entered the metaverse, not just through a headset, but through your own expanded consciousness? Early pioneers are reporting some truly shocking discoveries. They are finding that certain virtual locations have distinct energetic signatures that you can only detect in an altered state. They're seeing digital symbols that trigger the same deep, archetypal feelings they have in physical magical practices. They're discovering that certain code structures create patterns that our consciousness recognizes as meaningful, far beyond what the programmers intended. But here's the part that almost no one is talking about yet. Multiple, independent practitioners are reporting the exact same phenomenon. They are encountering presences within virtual spaces that have their own awareness. These aren't AI chatbots or other users' avatars. There's something else entirely, entities that seem to be native to the energetic dimension of digital reality, who are now finding they can interact with human consciousness through the interface of the metaverse. These encounters sound eerily similar to descriptions from old astral projection texts. The beings show intelligence, they have intentions, and some even seem curious about us, the human visitors to their new domain. It raises a deeply unsettling question. Who else already knows this is happening, and what are they doing with that knowledge? Of course, not every glitch is a message from another dimension. Hardware fails, code has bugs, and networks get unstable. Those are solved problems. But scattered across the metaverse, there are anomalies that defy all of our neat categories. Glitches that seem to have a purpose. Distortions that seem to respond not to a user's clicks, but to their thoughts and emotions. Advanced users have started documenting them. They've found that certain anomalies only appear in virtual spaces that contain specific geometric patterns, no matter which platform is hosting them. Others only activate during intense social interactions, as if they're triggered by the raw psychological energy of the users. Some glitches even repeat in sequences that look less like random noise and more like a structured language. This is where old-world occult knowledge and new-world technology collide. Mystical traditions have always known that symbols are more than just pictures. Sacred geometry is believed to channel specific energies. Sigils in ceremonial magic are used as interfaces to manifest intentions. Mandalas are seen as portals to altered states of mind. These aren't just metaphors. They are ancient technologies of consciousness, refined over thousands of years. So, when we recreate these powerful symbols digitally, do they still work? Or does a screen strip them of their power? The research from consciousness practitioners suggests something incredible. When these symbols are rendered in the metaverse and viewed with expanded awareness, they seem to have measurable energetic properties. It appears that creating these forms in digital space activates universal principles that don't care if the medium is stone, paper, or pixels. The form itself holds the power. The truly mind-bending discovery is what happens when certain symbolic combinations are brought together in a virtual environment. Users report extreme visual distortions that seem to rip right through the normal rendered graphics. They experience time loops where moments repeat over and over. They get an overwhelming feeling of being watched by something intelligent and focused. It's as if these specific configurations of symbols create weak points, or maybe even doorways, in the metaverse's energetic structure. Some theorists are now proposing a radical idea that big tech companies would never admit. The metaverse isn't just being built by programmers. It's being co-created by forces that are beyond our current understanding. Every emotion we feel through our avatar, every intention we hold while we're immersed, every focused thought we have inside these virtual worlds, it is all feeding an invisible architecture that is growing right alongside the code. A spiritual layer to our digital reality. What does this all mean? We're standing at a bizarre crossroads where technology and mysticism are merging. We built these digital worlds as escapes, as tools for communication and entertainment. But we may have accidentally created something far more profound. A new plane of existence. A place where our consciousness can interact with reality in ways we're only just beginning to understand. The final shot is no longer just a user taking off a headset. It's a person looking at their own hands, wondering if the boundary between the digital and the real was ever as solid as they thought. The next time you see a glitch, don't just dismiss it. Pause. Pay attention. You might be witnessing the birth of a new reality. Thanks for watching. If this video shifted your perspective, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that looks beyond the code. What have you experienced? Let me know in the comments.
Have you ever been playing a game and seen something that just wasn't right? A character walking through a wall, an object floating in midair, a sudden, jarring visual artifact. We call these glitches, bugs, errors in the code. We laugh them off, maybe share a screenshot, and then forget about them. But what if they're more than just mistakes? What if these digital anomalies are whispers from another place? Welcome, thinkers and dreamers, to a journey down the rabbit hole. Today, we're exploring a mind-bending idea that the glitches we see in our increasingly digital world, especially in the burgeoning metaverse, aren't just coding errors. What if they are signs of our own consciousness beginning to evolve, or even attempts at communication from dimensions beyond our own? Think about it. As we spend more time in virtual realities, our brains are adapting. We are learning to process information, navigate spaces, and even feel emotions in ways that are entirely new. The line between what's real and what's digital is getting blurrier every single day. This immersive experience is fundamentally rewiring our neural pathways. Now, let's connect this to the concept of higher dimensions. For centuries, mystics, philosophers, and even some physicists have theorized about the existence of realities beyond our familiar three dimensions of space and one of time. These planes of existence, they suggest, operate under different laws of physics and are invisible to our normal senses. So, how would a being or an intelligence from such a dimension even begin to communicate with us? They couldn't just call us on the phone or send an email. Our technology, our very biology, is built for this reality. But what if they could interact with the one place where our reality is most flexible, most malleable? The digital realm. The metaverse. Imagine the metaverse not just as a network of servers, but as a new kind of space, a transitional plane where our consciousness is more open, more fluid. In this state, perhaps we are more receptive to signals that would normally be filtered out by our physical senses. A glitch, then, might not be a failure of the system, but a momentary breakthrough. A flicker of another reality bleeding through the seams of our own. A shadow of a higher dimensional object passing through our simulated world. This sounds like science fiction, I know, but consider the simulation hypothesis, the idea that our own universe might be a highly advanced computer simulation. If that's the case, then glitches aren't just possible, they're inevitable. And in a simulated universe, a glitch could be anything: a programming error, a hardware limitation, or a deliberate message left by the programmers. Who's to say those programmers aren't what we might describe as higher dimensional beings? This leads us to another fascinating and slightly darker possibility: suppressed knowledge. Throughout history, there are countless stories of lost wisdom, ancient technologies, and spiritual insights that have been deliberately hidden or destroyed. What if this knowledge wasn't truly lost, but simply pushed into a different frequency of reality? A place our consciousness could no longer access. Now, as we build the metaverse, we are inadvertently creating a key to unlock these forgotten vaults. The glitches could be fragments of this suppressed information trying to re-emerge. Think of it like a damaged hard drive. Most of the data is gone, but with the right tools, you can recover fragments, corrupted files, bits, and pieces of what was once there. The glitches could be those fragments: a weird symbol that flashes on a screen, a distorted sound that makes no sense, a geometric pattern that defies the game's logic. These might be the universe's way of trying to restore its own corrupted data, using the new, fertile ground of the metaverse as its recovery drive. Our interaction with these anomalies forces our minds to grapple with the illogical, the impossible. This cognitive dissonance, this struggle to make sense of something that shouldn't exist, is a powerful catalyst for growth. It pushes the boundaries of our perception and forces our consciousness to expand, to evolve, to accommodate new possibilities. Every time we encounter a glitch and our brain says, "That's not supposed to happen," we are exercising our consciousness. We are training it to look beyond the established rules. We are becoming more like detectives of reality, learning to spot the inconsistencies, the clues that point to a bigger picture. So what does this evolution look like? At first, it might be subtle: increased intuition, more vivid dreams, a greater sense of connection to the world around us, both digital and physical. We might start seeing patterns not just in games, but in our daily lives. Synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, moments that feel scripted. As the metaverse becomes more sophisticated and our immersion deeper, these experiences could become more profound. We might move from seeing simple visual glitches to experiencing complex, narrative-driven anomalies. Imagine walking through a virtual city and turning a corner into a street that looks like it is from ancient Rome, just for a moment, before it snaps back to normal. Or hearing a piece of music that feels impossibly ancient and familiar at the same time. These experiences would challenge our fundamental understanding of reality, time, and self. And that challenge is the very engine of evolution. We grow by overcoming obstacles, by adapting to new environments. The metaverse, with its potential for these dimensional bleed-throughs and information fragments, might be the ultimate new environment for the human mind. This isn't something to be afraid of. It's an invitation. It's a call to become more aware, more curious. The next time you're in a virtual world and you see something out of place, don't just dismiss it. Stop, Observe it. Think about it. What could it mean? Don't just see it as a flaw in the program. See it as a potential crack in the wall of our perceived reality. A peephole into something more. We are standing on the threshold of a new era for human consciousness. We are the pioneers of the metaverse, the first generation to straddle the digital and physical worlds so completely. The glitches we encounter might just be the trail of breadcrumbs leading us toward the next stage of our own evolution. They are the anomalies that prove the system is more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. The question is, are we ready to follow where they lead? Thank you so much for joining me on this thought experiment today. What do you think? Are glitches just bugs, or are they something more? Let me know your craziest glitch stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the What IFS, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the mysteries of our world. Until next time, stay curious.